Okay, as far as we possibly can. Oh yeah, actually, I think we can't actually go to the floor. That's actually rather annoying. I have to go up a couple floors before I can get back to the barricade, even though that I got there that one time. Alright, well. And I also remember that I currently have this absolutely baller spear going for me, so that's not bad. Let's just try to avoid conflict altogether. I'd actually like to save all of our energies for the new enemies we're going to end up going up against. I suppose I can do battle with a few here and there, perhaps, maybe. But if it's avoidable, I would like to do so. All right, well, that one was definitely not avoidable. Ain't that a butt? All right.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
All right, well, I kind of already am almost positive, as a matter of fact, that it's ice, because these things are on fire. And the fact that I've never actually analyzed these characters here means that I've probably just been using ice and getting all out attacks on them this whole time. Yeah, that was roughly what I was expecting. Alright, pile on the lions! The weird lion wheel monsters. God only knows what the deal with that noise is. Alright, look at all the things. I reckon I'll probably grab that old thing right over there. Yeah, ta-ta! You have welcomed this weird, monstrous creature back into your heart. It feels much like having ringworms. Perhaps you should not have let that inside your heart. That might have actually been a really bad call. All right, let's see if I can maybe... Yup! I would, in fact, like to have a next one of these. I will do my best. Have I ever missed any of these monsters before? I'm beginning to think that these things just have like a really high rate of running away, but not the massive evasion stat that I'm used to from them. That's a little strange, but I mean, I won't complain. If you get to them and they don't run away, you should be allowed to kill them almost instantly. Anyway, get out of the way, weird gate thing. All right then, there you go. So, are we done with the solid gold floors? Oh, no, we're still rocking this, huh? Something seems different about the enemies here, so be careful with that noise. Or, I could not bother with that noise at all. That is also a thing I could do, but I kind of want this loot! I don't know how that enemy saw me. Uh-oh. That's not good.
There are 4 enemies.
Indeed there are.
I'll scan the target.
Alright, you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna switch back over to Throth, because that guy's got better stats. And also, I'm gonna hit him with the, Zip Zap, and maybe by some chance, possibly. Okay, that's not bad.
4 enemies left.
That's not bad at all.
Cannon. An unexpected turn of events.
Yeah, that kind of figured it. Anyway, heavy fire damage to one foe. Maybe that's the weakness of this giant stone monstrosity. The answer was no, it was not.
It's weak against ice. Use Bufu's.
Of course it was.
Careful. The enemy's going to attack.
Yeah, well, it's not actually going to attack. I'm definitely going to kill it before that happens.
You little.
All right. Mildly annoying, let's be real.
Enemies return to normal.
Yep, it does that sometimes. So, I actually think I'm just gonna do this again. Or maybe, I don't think I actually have any personas that have a single targeting ice move. I got Mabufu. Oh wait, hang on, Bufu La. So, actually I do, but at the same time, yeah, no. I wouldn't be able to do this in a way that would all work out in the same turn. Unless I use this 3 times. But only an absolute idiot would ever actually go through with that sort of idea. I mean, it would take so long that it would be almost ridiculously frustrating to not only the player in question, but the hypothetical people that might also be watching the person playing the game in the background. Also, if it's going to, you know, do that crap, yeah, that's not exactly great. Awesome, cool, thanks, game. Never mind, you kind of ruined my entire joke and shtick and gimmick there, too. Cool. Cool, of course. Why would I expect any different? Alright, well, we'll just set fire to all of them. Just do that. Oh, cool, they're weak to fire, too. That works for me. Yeah, you'd think that would have done a lot more than it actually ended up doing.
It has multiple weaknesses. weaknesses.
Ah, okay. It's just immune to all physical attacks, but weak to all magic. That's an interesting spread. Not the most advantageous, if we're being real with all y'alls. Anyway, she got Metarama now. That's good. All right, well, light wind damage it is. Freeze him down.
Hikari-chan defeated an enemy.
And I could switch to Bufu, but oh, I'm an idiot. I am the biggest of the dumbs. All right, well,
Cannon.
thank you. Yes, she does. All right, medium fire damage to one foe. There you go.
Assistance.
There we go. That'll do it. Then we'll take care of that. Give me all that experience points. Thank you very much. And I got that for a light dog suit. All right, well, that's actually almost stabbed my dog. That is actually a significantly better item than I was prepared to get. So, thank you very much. Dog suit? No. Light dog suit. +3 magic even. Is there like an accessory store somewhere that I've just been missing? Because it seems kind of strange that I've gained like maybe 2 or 3 accessories this entire dang game. I'm used to being able to get those things from the chests inside the various places that Persona users go. Can you go a little higher? Yeah, well, that's kind of the plan, lady. Shanky! Shanky, Shanky. What you gonna do about it? Oh, God, we're just really gonna do this all over again, huh? All right, fine. Well, this time, let's see if we can actually make this work for us.
That's the way.
It's not that different from the earlier stages when I had to do this exact thing when I didn't have multi-hitting moves.
That's the way.
We just need to cross our fingers and hope that we don't miss any of our attacks. Zip zap!
The enemy is down. Now's your chance.
Alright, now we switch over to, what is it, Ganga? Yeah, Ganga, I guess. Alright, Ganga, or Ganga. I suppose your name could literally be either, if we're being real. Put them on the ice cubes! Sha-sha-sha! There we go.
Balance. Attack.
Honestly, I think the odds of the all-out attack being able to finish off the giant golem are kind of on low. The sludge monsters are gone, though. Yeah.
To go.
Alright, so quick question. They're strong against it, but they're not immune. That's all I need to hear.
That was easy.
Sometimes you get an arrow upside your face. It's just how you do. Alright, I could get a big pile of money, or I could get a Clotho. Don't I already have a Clotho? I'm almost positive I've already got a Clotho. I'm gonna get the money. I could double up. Yeah, okay, sure. No massive loss if I get it wrong. Alright, let's try to go for that one. And yeah, go with this one. Jikoko Dotidon. There we go. I got him. And a big pile of money, too. Acceptable and appreciated. I got some of my money back from that massive purchase on the TV. Get out of my face, weird shadow man. Yeah, I know, I'm sure you thought that you would be able to fight me, but you know what? You can't. You can't fight me, you're looking like a fool. I said something strong, but I have no idea where it'd be. Yeah, thank you for that, Fuka. You're always there to tell me that you know something is definitely around, but not have any idea where it actually is. Not as useful as you think it might be, gotta be honest. And considering the fact that literally everything we've been doing up to this point has been go up several floors, fight a super monster, go up more floors, fight a super monster, go up more floors, fight a super monster. I feel like the odds of there being a super monster in a few floors are incredibly high, and I don't need to be constantly reminded.
Be careful. Give me a sec. I'll scan the code.
Okay, I'm going to make a bold prediction on this and say that it is weak to light, because I vaguely remember these monsters from other games. All right, well, I made that. I took a chance and it didn't pay off. It happens. I got no regrets. Oh, okay, well, that's good.
It seems the enemy's weak against light.
All right, well, I wasn't wrong. It just missed literally all of them because, of course. Yep, it's those weird, freaky, invisible head things. All right, just shoot it in the face.
This thing won't
It's all face, so it should be pretty easy to do. And we got fire. Oh, Lord, it's a fire. All right, let's try this again. Come on, Monkey Man.
enemy defeated.
All right, well, it's something. Something is always better than nothing. Of course, when stuff like that goes down, you end up feeling like a big old fool. All right, smack him up. Yes, she did, and it is appreciated. But now, just to be on the safe side, on the off chance that it decides to throw out some kind of crazy super attack that I wasn't anticipating, let's just make sure everybody is healed. Oh, cool. Healing literally amounted to absolutely nothing. That was miraculously lucky. You absolute jackass. Ugh, there. Good job, doggy. Hey, that was actually a lot of experience points, too. Alright, then fighting those dudes ain't so bad. If I had managed to actually get the, if I had a little bit more luck on my side and had the ability to do the light magic, wouldn't have been a problem.
I'll scan the target.
Alright, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to try and use Mahama again. Here's hoping that those floaty shrine people don't have reflect light. They don't!
One more to go.
Alright, that is a massive
It's weak against
good
ice.
thing for me.
Boo-boo skills.
Yes, yes, use the boofoo. I'll get right onto that boofoo life, I assure you. You don't need to worry about that at all. Except you should, because I'm not going to! Because I didn't have to. And I totally knew that when I decided to do that. I obviously knew that that's how that was going to go. And that's a big experience thingamabobbo. I want that one. Give me that one. Yeah! Anybody want to level up off of that? Because that'd be cool.
My
Nice!
level of aptitude has increased.
That's exactly what you want to see. And another big pile of money. There we go. I'm basically at the amount of money I had before I threw it all away at an infomercial. Who doesn't want to make up for the choices they've made in that regard? Then again, I did buy a lot of instant ramen. So, I mean, really, who's the loser here? Still me, but I'm lying to myself to feel better. There seems to be a strong presence nearby. Let me double check. You know, on the next floor. 3, 4, 5 times the floor. You can't stop me. Alrighty. We'll deal with these fools, no problem. Alright, I vaguely remember something about you being weak to ice. Let's just go with the ice on this one. And put them on the ice cubes. Bebop. Oh, come on. Why does that always have to constantly happen? Alright, well, knocked one of them over. Now we just need to kill the other one before the other one can make up for it, I guess. Do some flippy dog styles. There we go, alright. Stabby. Oh, and that's a lot of ice and the pain and the ouchies and the bads, and I don't like it. Would much prefer if you didn't do that ever again. If it's all the same to you, game. My God. I mean, it didn't hurt that bad, but still, I'd like to avoid injury at all possible opportunities, if you don't mind. Anyway, give me that there disc poison. That's what I want. Oh, and that's a. Can I get you? No, I'm not even gonna try. You're just gonna spoof away before I'm able to actually get to you, so I ain't even gonna go under the delusion that I can catch you. I ain't no fool. I mean, I am a fool, but not 100% of the time. Well, that one was just asking to get stabbed. And it's just a bunch of these dudes. And yeah, you're just weak to literally everything. So you guys are like the easiest things to kill ever. If you have any elemental abilities at all, you can defeat them. Of course, then there's stuff like that happens, which isn't great. Alright, well, okay. I guess that's why we have single target spells. And not just because they cost less. There we go. Knock them down. Set them up and knock them down, as you do. Alrighty, so experience? That's not the best experience card in the world, but I'll take them. Not bad. Could have been a hell of a lot better. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. I guess that's really just kind of what you have to kind of work with, I suppose. The true question of the millennium is, how many floors is this going to take? There's a strong presence on the 146th floor. All right, so you actually managed to figure it out at long last. Everybody everywhere, give a big old round of applause to Fuka and her amazing analytical abilities. And we've got these dudes. Ah, boy. All right, well, I'm going to make the attempt. But I feel like it's going to miss. It didn't miss. I honestly was expecting that to miss. All right. I was fairly certain of that, and it ended up working out all right. And because of our recent level ups, we're strong enough to take him out and all-out attack. Everything's working out freaking fantastic, people. Everything is just looking pretty swell. And more money. Who doesn't want more money? Fools, that's who. Anyway, Shadow Crystal. Hey, gods, I found a shadowy crystal of death and destruction. I probably shouldn't be wielding that sort of arcane powers. Alrighty. So we got a monster chasing us from that end. But, luckily, I don't have to give a damn. So I shan't. Ain't that swell? The enemy is on the next floor. Good lord, what's gonna happen next? Please be careful. Yes, oh, well. Well, wouldn't you ding-dong, ding-dang, ding-dong, ding-all know it? That dang staircase was right there the whole dang time. Alright then, so 3 shadows in the middle. Seems to kind of, maybe I'm imagining it, but it seems like it alternates between 1 strong one and 3 slightly not as strong ones to compensate for the fact that there are 3 of them. I do not know that 100%, but it seems to be the case. Regardless, let's heal up, let's save, and then we'll jump in and see if I can figure out the strategy for it. If I can survive, and you know, a super attack from any of them, and have the opportunity to heal up before they can do it a second time, then theoretically, as long as I'm able to do enough damage to kill it before Yukari and the protagonist runs out of SP to heal people, then we should be able to theoretically defeat literally anything. So that might end up being the cheese strat, if there ever was one. Perhaps. Well, just gonna have to give it a try and hope for the best, I suppose. I sense 3 shadows in the middle. Yes, I know, thank you. Alrighty, so what direction is this dang thing even going to be in? Hello, oh, there you are. They keep switching the sides on me and confusing my brain. Oh, Lord, it's a bunch of these dudes. Oh, God almighty, oh. I'd really rather not. Okay, here we go.
Top one. Watch each other's backs.
As if we didn't do that beforehand.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Go ahead. I'm gonna hit them with electricity and see if that's enough to make them happy. Alright, no, I mean, it did make them happy. They ate it. Alright, so definitely don't use electric. Cool. How about fire? Alright, well, fire hurt them. And yep, analyzing still did absolutely jiggity jack all. Completely pointless, completely superfluous. And that hurt pretty bad. It hurt pretty bad. And they have electric attacks. That's even worse. Alright, what if I did this? Alright, that worked out relatively well, I think, I dare say. And I can only do light wind damage to everybody. Oh, why must it be this way? Alright. I'm able to do decent enough damage. I feel like it's just going to take me a really long time. Which, to be fair, has kind of been the thing with these enemies the entire time. Yeah, I guess I'll just do the tired and true, slap them around a bunch and heal when I can, and I'll either die or I won't die, and I died, so alright then, never mind. The game made the choice for me. Fantastic. Thanks for that, universe. Absolutely splendid. Sigh. Alright, okay, hello, how y'all doing? It's been a while, maybe not a long time for you, in fact, it's possibly not even been but a moment for you, but for me, oh, I've been here for a little while, let me tell you. Okay, so, here's what I gone and done did. I ascertained that basically, Yukari and Ike's shared weakness to electricity was going to be an extraordinarily big problem for me going in the future. So, what I did was, I came back out here, and I got myself a couple other characters, and I trained them. I trained them until that they were as strong as I could possibly make them. That was, I actually brought in, specifically, Ken and Akihiko, and I trained them up, like, seriously, like, he went from, like, level 29 to 49. Actually, I think he's at level 50 now. And, they're obviously tired and left since then. Koromaru helped. Also, as for me, personally, I am level 53 now. And look at all the money I've got. It was a result of all the training. You might be wondering, but you're tired. How did you possibly make this happen? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I ignored it. Every single member of my team was massively tired for pretty much 85% of the training I went through. And I just ignored it and kept going. After all the time I spent doing that, I believe I have come to a conclusion that, well, I guess I can't say 100%. I'm sure there's more to it, but what it seems to me is when a character is tired, they are more likely to miss their attacks, and if they get knocked over, they take longer to get back up. Aside from that, I can't really tell if there was anything really all that detrimental about it. Really, the only problem was if I ever left, I would have had to have had them leave. So I just kept going up to the checkpoint and then going back down a couple floors and then going back up and again, over and over and over. I also have myself a bunch of new personas. I still got Thoth, so that's pretty good. But I've got Mott now, and Mott's pretty cool. He's got big-time darkness damages. He's also able to use ice moves. Very handy. He can also use Evil Smile and Ghastly Wail to kill things that he's made scared, while also being null to it. So that's pretty handy. Not going to be grateful for, great for bosses or nothing, but still, it's a neat little strategy if possible. I also got myself here Thor. So not really that big a deal. I just kind of have him because I have him. I didn't really set out to get him, but I got this. This one's got Metarama and Magurula and Mabufula. So that's an all-around just pretty good persona to have for type coverage. This I actually got through, I want to say, a 5-way fusion. I'm not sure which one that is. Is that a pentagram, a fusion? I'm not sure. But, big time light magic all up in this place. I created it by fusing, like, all of the various grammatical looking dudes that look like commas and apostrophes. Apparently, if you fuse 4 of them, you get this dude. Who'd have thunk it? Also, he's got ice magic too, because everybody's got ice magic, apparently. And lastly, I've also got Starro, Conqueror of Worlds. But he's got Megiddo and no light, so it's something. Not a whole lot, but that's what I've been working on. So I am incredibly more powerful than I was before. I feel like our odds of being able to defeat the menace that was plaguing us before shouldn't be too difficult. That being said, I'm now going to leave for the day because we are too tired and the guys that I actually trained up for the purposes of fighting it had to go. So we're just gonna head on back, wait for everybody to feel better, and then we'll come back, and then we're gonna finish up what we started, and it will be swell. Of that I assure. Let it be known that at no point did I ever say that I was going to abandon my Yukari and Aigus-based combat style. I just am acknowledging the fact that if I'm going to be rolling with characters who are both weak to the same thing, and the game isn't going to provide me a way to defend myself to prevent them from getting knocked down constantly, I guess I'm going to need a couple backup characters to take their place when going up against something that has a lot of electric attacks. It just seems like the thing to do. Regardless, there's no school today. So what are we even gonna do with our time? That's the million-dollar question. Well, it's Sunday, so I guess we're probably gonna talk to that sick guy. Also, I can't help but notice, did I ever get my thing? Someone has called you. It seems like you have a package. Is this the thing? Oh, so it is. Interesting. I thought usually I just got boxes delivered. Interesting, all right. Well, here comes Tanaka, hawking his garbo. What's he gonna sell this time? Nobody knows, that's what. Anyway, I'm Tanaka, and I'm going to sell you some stuff. Ooh, and an accessory. I could use those. We'll throw in 2 instant ramen. I just got 5 instant ramen. I want more of that. Yeah, give me that. Give me that noise. Do you see how much money I have? I have no qualms with that. That being said, I burnt through a lot of my items while training, so I should actually head over to the mall, probably go to the pharmacy, see if I can pick up any new armor for people. Because if I have anything that's better, I gotta grab it now. I've definitely got the funds available to me to make it happen. So that's what we're gonna do first, and then we'll go talk to this sick guy, and I'm just gonna check on you guys real quick. You guys all doing okay? I don't feel relieved like I usually do. Oh, this is the same thing as always. Dang. Alright, well, I still like your coat! So it's actually been, it's actually the next day for me, as a matter of fact. So, basically you saw me die. I trained, realized I kind of had to stop, then I came back, trained some more, and now I turned the recording back on. So, trust me, it was like a collective, like, I don't know, felt like maybe 8 hours. There was no need to speed all that up. I just figured I'd show you what I got, and that'd be good enough. Alright, first things first, we gotta go to the pharmacy. I need to buy myself some reviving items. As I was training up particularly weak characters, I won't name any names, I happened to go through a lot of them. So, revival beads, yep. We're just gonna grab ourselves 10 of those, because we can. Also gonna buy myself a couple more medical powders. I'm not gonna intentionally try to burn through all of my items, but still. I would like to just... I mean, not burn through all of my money, but still, I want to be on the up and up here. Alright, so, I also know for a fact that I looked over pretty much all the weapons I've got and everything of that kind. So anything I have on me currently is okay for selling, because I gave everybody the best stuff that they could possibly have. Anyway, I don't got much, but I do got new things. Alright, I'm curious about your new things. Alright, there's a claymore, which is rather interesting, but I don't like that type of weapon. It's got bad hit rate. A Sin Blade! My goodness. A composite bow, which is much better than a Higo Yumi, so we're gonna buy ourselves one of those for Yukari. Yep. Do I want to equip it? No, I don't want to equip it. That's for somebody else. Let's see, there's the Lance of Death, which actually I'm pretty sure Ken already has, and the thing I have is better than that, so no problem there. Very unfortunate that I can still buy these. I know it's because I can equip them, but still. And there's the Wicked Cestus, which, yes, okay, definitely already has that. I managed to find a lot of stuff. There's the Medusa. Okay, that actually might be slightly better. I'm not 100%. We're gonna buy it, and we're gonna hope for the best on that. And then the Silver Moon. Yep, we're gonna buy ourselves one of those too. A dog mask with a circular blade. Interesting. All right, well, that does it for weapon. Now, about all this. All right, this stuff. Steel plate armor for Aegis's front and back. I believe she currently does not have that, so we're gonna buy it for him. And then, very heavy and durable armor. Okay. So then, if I were to say, I want to buy this, and I want to equip this, and then, say I wanted to buy another one, and then I wanted to buy, that's right, you guessed it, another one. Okay, no, and I don't need to take off the armor I'm wearing to put on different armor. And I already know Koromaru's got the best stuff he's gonna get. So, I can sell this. I can sell this. I just bought that. Gonna be very careful not to sell things that I just bought. Know that I don't need them. So they can all go away so they're not cluttering up my inventory and confusing me with their inadequate stats. I'm gonna take care of all that. As cool as the axes and hammers are as a concept, I'm going to abstain from using them on a personal level. Somewhat based off of respect for the fallen. And that's basically that is the item, which means I got him something that's even better than that. But just to be on the safe side, and I'm wrong, let's not throw that out. But obviously the stuff that's worth the most is the stuff you want to keep. That just seems like a pretty safe, but I got so many beast fangs. Oh my god. All right, and I know I just bought the Medusa, so we don't need that. Sell that, and go for that. All's well. Don't need that. And I know I just bought that and that, so we don't need those. I'll hold on to a Defender Cloak. Koromaru's already wearing a light dog suit, so that's fine. Don't need to worry about that, and that's not good. And this stuff is just really low tier nonsense. Don't need to think about it at all. Can supposedly be remote controlled. That's a very interesting feature for a shoe. I'm actually probably going to just hold on to those. Yeah, okay. And everything that's over the number 60, I'll hold on to those. And everything else is gonna go. There we go. Then I'll check to see, just to be on the safe side, if I've got anything that exists solely to be sold and nothing else. Sometimes you pick up stuff like that. Oh, yeah, like a shadow crystal and an opulent coin. Yeah, that's that stuff. So there you go. I basically spent almost all of my money, and I was able to sell so much stuff that it didn't even end up mattering. Okay, so there we go. Those are weapons for Yukari, Koromaru, Aegis, maybe Akihiko, possibly better armor for a couple people, and some good shoes. Stuff to that nature. Okay, we should be all right. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. And with that, I believe that pretty much takes care of everything. Just gotta make sure to, actually give it to them. Of course, the hilarious fact of the matter is, actually, now that I think about it, Yeah. Alright, so kind of a bit of a problem with the whole having backup characters is, I guess I kind of need armor for them too, don't I? Otherwise, they're probably just gonna get slapped around really hard and die before they get a chance to even do anything. That would be the worst. Alright then, fine. As much as I'd rather not spend all that damn money, that's gonna be more gigantic armor for the backup team. Alright, and I still have 400,000 yen. That's still a lot, and I'll probably get a whole bunch more. It's not that big a deal. It's not as big a deal as it could have been. At the very least, it's what I shall tell myself. Alright, now it is time for the dying man. Let's see if he's having himself a swell day today. Dare to dream, right? Hello there. Coughing it up? Oh, it's you. Why don't you have a seat? This bench is too big for me alone. He seems he would like my company. Very well. I'm pretty good at sitting on benches. Then this bench shall be our meeting place, as opposed to all the other places we've met. Seriously, all the times we've met have involved this bench, except for the first one. I'm doing better today. I know it probably looked pretty bad last time, right? I mean, I don't want to openly state that. I'd been reading a book before we met that day. I got so absorbed in the reading that I forgot to close the window, and I didn't realize how chilly it was. Do you read many books? It depends on the book. I can definitely relate to that. A bad book is a really big waste of time because you have to get so far into it before you write it off. That is true. You have to read a bunch of it before you realize it's a bad book. I read a lot of books these days. I find that they're the easiest ways to spend my time, since I get lost in a book's private world, kind of like how I roll with video games. Do you read books all the way to the end? I mean, if it's boring, I'll stop. I mean, I might as well tell you the truth. I don't read the endings either, though I think our reasons for doing so are different. I mean, probably. I really get into the story and usually reach the end quickly, but I never want to finish it. Because if I finish the story, I'll be stuck here again, alone in my room. As Akinari, the person who can't escape his fate. Oof. Stories about hope and heroism. Those are the books I read. Not bad. So, hopefully, if I do decide to finish reading them, I'll feel happy at the end when I come back here. That'd be nice. I mean, I can understand that. If I was in an incredibly depressing situation, I'd try to involve myself in as much media that's as happy and hopeful as possible. In a way, I can sort of see how this game is going for that, but it's like hope in the face of despair, and I really kind of wish I wasn't using those two words. Those words are still very painful to me. Alright, well, be that as it be. Time is ruthless. Looks like the sun is already setting. I hope we have another chance to talk. I assume we will, considering how many ranks there are left. You decide to go back to the dorm, but at this point, I'm almost positive, given the game that I've been playing up to this point, he's probably more than most likely going to die maybe at the very last rung of the Arcana, and that sounds like the type of thing this game would do. Anyway, Koromaru has greeted us. Hello, doggy. I don't suppose you want to have a... Oh, you do want to go for walkies. All right, sure. I don't have anything better to do. I could listlessly try to, you know, boost some stats. That's a thing. Oh, hello. Oh, Daikun, what's up? Oh, what a cute pooch. Oh, you're really lucky. We can't have any pets at our place. He's a pretty good doggo. And I actually got to hang out with Yuko a bit. That's awesome. That makes me feel better. Actually, that reminds me of something. I might be onto something, but I also might be stupid. We're gonna find out together, and it'll be fun either way. Don't worry about it. Koromaru is back from playing. You decide to go back to the dorm with Koromaru. He's a pretty swell doggo. Let us not be wrong here. You are tired and you're not feeling well because of all the time you spent fighting shadows. I guarantee we were in there for longer than an hour. So, kind of interesting how that works. It's sort of the exact same thing that, you know, with the TV world and Mementos. It's like, I'm pretty sure we spent like an entire night in there. Kind of weird how we managed to show up. Anyway, exams will be posted today. This means nothing to you. It means less than nothing. It means big-time garbanzo to you. Then again, garbanzo beans are good beans, so it's perhaps more of a lima bean.
The results are posted! Yeah, everybody go look at them. This is a thing teenagers care about.
I don't know, in Japan they probably do. It's pretty much just a Persona staple for me. You're in the top 10! Everyone is looking at you, and by everyone, these 4 random NPCs that don't have names. Your charm, which literally cannot increase anymore, has increased. Ain't that great. It's basically a full cup. All that did was have the charm spill out, now it's on the floor. It's wasted charm. Oh, God! She's got a weapon! Everyone, come get your tests so we can go over them. On question 1, you've had to use the formula we spent several days on to solve, remember? The next question with the weird problems about calendars. Does anyone here buy a new calendar everywhere? If you do, you're wasting your money. Oh, shut your butt. I like the cute pictures. You see, calendars have only a set number of patterns. After all, how many days can January 1st possibly fall on? I'll pick a student mathematically, and by that I mean I'll pick the only person anybody ever picks in these games. How many calendar patterns are there? I don't know, 14? Okay, there you go. Correct, well done. Obviously, January 1st can only fall on 7 days, Monday through Sunday. But you must factor in the possibility of a leap day at the end of February. I was born in February, so I'm well aware of leap days. I wasn't born on leap day, thankfully, but yeah. Which gives you 7 more patterns. 2 variations based on 7 days gives you 14 patterns in all. Any year you can name falls into one of these 14. You gave the correct answer. Your charm has increased and it means nothing. I meant nothing. Anyway, class has ended for today. Aha! All right. So, here's the thing. 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 Here she is. She's not a thing. She's a person. Anyway. Right. Okay. So, last time I threw caution to the wind, and I decided, let's just go for it. And I think I'm gonna stick by that, but the game gave me time to think about it because our relationship actually hadn't reached the point where it could advance to the next stage. But here's the thing. That list of arcanas that I was given, I'm pretty sure I already know all of the characters that they correspond to, if that makes any sense. So, if I can just find it really quick, I'm sure it's here somewhere. Anywhere would be nice. There it is. Okay. So, apparently, in total, there are 5 potential romanceable characters in Persona 3. I know who the Lovers is, I know who the Strength is, and I know who the Justice is. Now, I don't know who the Priestess and the Empress are specifically, but I'm guessing they're Mitsuru and Fuka. That stands to reason. I already know that they have social links, so that kind of makes sense, right? But that means that unless the person who gave me this list is wrong, and we should all blame them if it is, I believe that means Aigis is technically not romanceable. The game gives me indications. Oh, she's not here. It gives me indications that there is a social link. And I realize that this is a bit of a gamble, because I could be totally wrong. Maybe I'll enjoy Aigis just so dang much that I'll end up regretting it. But right here, right now, I'm feeling okay about it. So I'm just gonna go with Yukari. And yes, I'm walking back by myself. Let's go. I'm going in. Slam down on the desk. Slap, jap, dabba-dam. Ramble-dam. Wham-bam-lambadam. I feel like we're not advancing. That was a lot of pre-ramble for nothing. All right, cool. Your relationship could become stronger. So didn't it say that exact same thing last time? Is there some kind of bar? Is something preventing me from doing this? Because I'm dedicated at this point. You can't stop me. Yes, hello. Your exams are over, right? Well, I'm ready to go to Tartarus when you are. I promise to do my best until the very end. I'll be fighting for him, too. Well, that's nice. Nice to see that you've come to an understanding. Although, here's a question. I mean, surely people are still not feeling good, right? Everyone's okay today, you say? Well, all right. Well, let's take a quick look-see-loo. All right, so I'd actually like to check everybody's levels right now. So we got 46. We got 46. Those make sense. We got 24. That's not gonna help us out much. I actually ended up training up Junpei a little bit. Dude, So far, he is not learning anything good, and he won't stop missing with his physical attacks. I gave him a shot. It was too annoying. But, Akihiko, he is now at level 50. Very strong. Take a look at his spell list. Not bad at all. Also, he has the Master of the Fist, so that's pretty cool. So that's all good. That's all good. And then, Ken is at 51. I waited specifically to get to 51 because that gave him Metarama. That gives him the ability to work as a healer, which is all really good. And then, Koromaru is at 53, the strongest of us all. Well, I guess Fuka is... She doesn't have actually attacking abilities, so... Regardless. Also, doesn't really look like she learns any new stuff. Then again, actually, something else I learned is... If you look here, it says here that Yukari doesn't learn any new spells, which doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm guessing that a character needs to have their persona evolve before they gain access to more spells. That is going to be my guess. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, even Igus is like almost running out entirely. Whereas Akihiko, over here, he's somewhere around here. There he is. There we go. He still has like a bunch left to learn. And that's that's after he learned a bunch when I was training him and stuff. So I think that there's more that the characters can do. They just need to, I guess, reach that story point, which would make sense to me. All right, then. So I would very much actually, yes, like to go to that place and finish up the business. So we'll just save in case everything goes horribly wrong. It might. I'm not going to lie to you guys. All right, let's go to Tartarosaurus. I'd like to reach the next barricade. That way I can feel good and I'll have known that I've done everything that I possibly could before the next big-time story event. All right. Now, let's actually equip everybody with the stuff that I got. That's going to be important. Yukari and Igus, you will not be coming with me for this particular fight, but I'll probably grab you once I've defeated the enemy inside. Assuming that I can. I should not get overconfident. Regardless, here you go. I got yourself one of those. And I've also got you, yep. Okay, I thought you'd be able to wear this. So, oh wow, an extra 30 SP. Nice. All right, say goodbye to her swimsuit. I also gave her something called Quick Pumps. I found them in there, and they're like pretty much the best evasion shoe I could find. All right, now let's check to see if Igus... Are the things that I've got here better? They is. They even got better accuracy. Ah-ha-ha, yee-hee-hee. That is what I like to see he. All right, then. So then, you just take all that stuff. There you go. Yes, you appreciate the support. Good on ya. Oh, hang on. Koromaru. Oh, yes. I'd like to take you, I guess, but you're gonna have to wait your dang turn. All right. First things first, I got you a new weapon. There you go, doggy. And yep, that's all good. He still got the bear paws. I guess his evasion is just so ridiculously high. Like, I don't think they really make a lot of different kind of shoes for dogs. I don't really know that for a fact, but, you know, still. I think that's why he starts with such high evasion, because you can't ever make it better. All right, so we're obviously going to take you. Yes, woof, woof, arf, arf, and other such things. All right, yes, we're going to go, but also I kind of wanted to give you some stuff first. I would like you to not be weak. Oh, thanks for letting me borrow this. Received inline skates. Oh, okay. But yes, I did in fact find something that was better than the best thing that you can buy. He has a robe of salvation, and that'll never do. So here you go, have yourself some gigantic armor, and I'll also give you some Greaves of Dawn. There you go. Now you're looking funky fresh. And Ken, we are also going to be coming along with us, which means you're also going to need better stuff. Your weapon's fine, but... Oh, I don't need this anymore, so you can have it back. The Metal Protector and the Crimson Greaves. Why exactly? That's weird. I'm not sure why that happens. But anyway, here. Have another one of these. And also, we can give you... You can have those... No, you actually no. You can have the Assassin shoes. I want to keep the remote-controlled shoes. That's my stuff. All right. Then I should probably save again, so in case I die, I don't have to re-equip all this stuff. All right, well. I also have a way out of the place, so it should all be fine and dandy now. This is likely not going to be an easy fight by any visible stretch, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. I'm considerably stronger. I have characters who are not weak to electricity. It's possible we can do this. All right, so very quickly about Koromaru. Whoa, look at that thing he's holding. Neat. All right. Time to fight the big old knights again. Here we go. Good luck. Gridlock, as Rob64 would say.
This is a tough one. Watch each other's backs.
That's the long-standing plan. All right, and I know that does nothing, but still, barely really got much of a chance to check anything. I don't know if they have any weaknesses, so we're gonna have to take this the slow and methodical way. All right, not great, not great. Well, we already have Akihiko for that, so we don't really necessarily. Just try stabbing it and see what happens. All right, not bad. Elect break. Okay, well now he doesn't block electricity, but he still resists the hell out of it. Not that big of a problem. All right, then yeah, if they have electricity, I think I already remember. Electricity, not a good call, so let's not do that. Instead, we punch. And then we set fire to all that oppose us. I'm pretty sure they absorb electricity. So, oh boy, we've got mind charge. That's okay, that's okay. Oh, 2 mind charges. That could be a real bad situation, actually. All right, well, so far it seems like our physical attacks are a bit more powerful than our magic attacks, so no sense to not use those. Yep, they're charging. If anybody would like to miraculously land a crit so that they don't, you know, an enemy can't do that. Oh boy. All right, well, clench your butt, people. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, not great, not great. But we are alive. We are, in fact, alive. All right, so Throth, you're one of my guys with Metarama. Yeah, you are. All right.
I'm worried about Akihiko-senpai.
As you should be. They are both very close to death. If I didn't train them as much as I did, if they were one level weaker, I actually think they probably would have straight up died. So, this was a good call. Also, the fact that Ken can also use this spell is double time good. Yep, that's what we're gonna be using.
That wasn't good.
There we go. As long as I'm strong enough to survive to be able to heal everybody, then there's really nothing that I can't defeat.
Mazio died!
All right, okay. Well, slowly but surely. Okay, well, that's actually really good because now that's a yeah. All right, so I should be able to. Okay. I was rather nervous about that. As long as they're not always using their mind-charged, you know, electric spells, we should be okay. It would also help to definitely kill one of them. Oh, great, Tetracard. Yeah, forgot that that was a thing. All right, but he is immune to electricity again, so unless they do elect break again, which they probably will. Boy. Okay, well, I don't really have too much of a choice. I feel like poison is probably going to take that guy out, but do I want to take that kind of risk? I'm going to say no. Oh, God, that poisoned me too because my punch is poison. All right, well, let's just take care of you. If you want to waste an entire turn doing that, that's fine. Heat wave. That could have been a lot worse. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. And now we're lucky enough that we don't have to worry. We will be taking less damage per turn because we killed one of them, so that's fine. Then dispoison. All right, now I just have to make note of the fact that they still have that Tetracard attached to them. All right, well, which means somebody has to take their own punch, which is unfortunate, but as long as it's not someone also poisoning themselves, it won't be that big of a problem. Mudo! All right, well, I'm glad you chose that target. You fool. Not bad. All right, okay. Now the question is, Are you the one that lost your Tetrakarn? Because if so, yeah, you are. All right, then. We should be fine. We can just spend this turn smacking up some fools. No problem. And do some flips, do some dips. You know how it be. All right, okay. All right, now you're busting out the Mind Charge again. So, yeah, we should definitely use one of those turns, heal everybody up. I'll have Ken do it because I hit for harder damage. Kind of a shame to have one of our, one of our damage dealers have to spend a turn healing, but you do what you gotta. You do what you gotta. All right, now. Would have been really nice if you would have been able to poison that fool. Ah, well. Oh, we've got another one now. Not great. Interesting choice. All right. Don't know why you did that, personally. Okay, well. You, at the very least, or maybe you don't have the SP for it. It's possible enemies could run out of that. Anyway, they're gonna have to use that again if they want to do damage to Akihiko, which they can't. There we go. All right. Ow. All right. Well, that's the last one of those. Not bad. Okay. And with that, with my most thorough of training regimens, we're now completely aces. No big time worries. All right, now time for the punchies. And booyah, we even poisoned him too. Ouch! You stabbed me bones. Ah. Yeah. Okay, well now is not the time for stuff like that. So please don't do that. There we go. Just keep slapping him around and he'll fall over eventually. No matter what his abilities are. As opposed to, I guess, the very limited amount of working we've done up to this point. I don't much care for what you said there. There we go. And a bunch of Swords of the Queen! There you go. There you have it. I took out the knights. Not bad. Now give me my loot. I demand loot for what another precious egg. Alright, so this game sure does like giving me an egg.
Very well.
Now, with that being done, said, and properly good and gone, we ain't gotta worry too much anymore. I can just head back, I can get my proper team, and they can just do what they do. You guys did exactly what I hoped you would, and I appreciate it. I'll try to keep you topped off so that you can be helpful in the future. Yep. And you just stay back. And then we bring the girls. The girls, if you wills. Here we go. Yes, I'm taking you with me. There you go. All right. Now, let's make it to that damn next barricade. Assuming that the next stop is a barricade. I suppose it could be another mid-boss. That sure would suck. But all right, then. So, I always get turned around. The place that I'd been mostly teleporting myself to had the exit on the other side of the room, so I had to double check before I went. My brain's all muzzled. Oh, something seems different about the enemies, so watch out with that noise. Yes, I actually feel pretty good. Yukari and Aegis might be lagging behind a little bit, but Koromaru and main guy, nah, we got this. And then there's these dudes who are weak to literally all forms of physical attack. Kind of the worst thing ever to be weak to. Having a weakness to one style of physical attack is bad, but you can work around it. But if you're weak to all forms, you're just gonna get knocked down all the damn time. It's bad times, man. It's a bad time for you. Alright, then the shufflings begin anew. Alright, well, I sure do need to get all of my dang money back. I spent so dang much of it. Gotta rebuild up the supply. And, oh, we've got more treasures. Alright, the treasures are so weird. Sometimes they're amazing, and other times they're just, yay, a poison heal. Not like I could buy those, like, in bulk or anything. Alright. Well, if the enemies have no interest in switching themselves around to new guys, then that just means that I've pretty much got the winning strategy here. Really, pretty much, you just need ice. Very few enemies that I've been going up against during my training regimen weren't weak to ice. Or weak to physical attacks outright. Sometimes you had an electric weakness. But aside from that, Yeah, no problem. Oh man, enemies with an electric weakness were completely screwed because 3 of us had electric attacks. It was pretty swell. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, then I think it's this one. It is Booyah. All right, don't mind if I do. I am all for that. I am totally A-OK-O with being even stronger. And just gonna, all right, fine. We'll ignore you. We'll ignore you. But I will stab you in the face. See, I'm very selective with within who I choose to stab in the face. All right, now the odds of being able to hit all of these, not great. Oh, but we did it. I like those enemies because they're weak to literally every spell. So even if I do end up missing, I could just have somebody do a single target magic spell on anybody else and they just fall down instantly. It's pretty swell. And I'll be taking that. Thank you very much. If anybody else wants to level up at any given moment in time, you are free to do so, and it is encouraged. Okay, so this is actually one of the least fun arrangements of enemies, but we can make it work. Just gotta take care of floaty eyeballmanson, like so. And we've got a lot to work with. Indeed they are. That's why I stab at them. Yeah, like so. All right, do you think we'll take it out before it gets a chance to do something? The answer was, of course, no. All right, well. I could do that, or I could just kill the enemy and he'll be healed by leaving. That's gonna be my strategy, personally.
My level of aptitude has increased.
Fantastic. That's everything you want to hear in life. And then Stabbathy! 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 Ooh, this is an interesting conundrum, isn't it? Alright then, well, I'll just use myself some Mabofu that should knock down the guy in the chair. There we go. Alright, took a little damage. I forgot that while they were weak to everything physical, they also reflect the magical. But that's okay. Now it's time for some critical doggo styles. There we go. Good job, Igus. Thank you for that. Man's best friend indeed. Also, I mean, for a friggin' Pomeranian, anyone else find it kind of crazy that he has more HP than a robot? Oh, that's how it works. Ooh, I don't know how I actually like that. All right, I'd actually like to get the HP I lost back, so that'd be cool. It's weird. It's like he's wearing a muzzle with a blade attached to it. I guess, you know, there's only so many ways you could weaponize a dog. So it makes sense that at least something like that would be a thing, but doesn't mean I have to think it's stylish.
There's one enemy.
Boy, is there ever. And soon there's gonna be no enemies. Dun 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 dun.
Enemy is down. Here's our chance.
Not gonna get a whole lot out of just a single enemy, but any numbers is a good number. I mean, unless it's like in the double digits. If I'm only getting like 20 EXP for a fight, then yeah, no, that's a complete and total waste of my time. Literally nothing accomplished from that. 222. It's a tiny little drop in the bucket, but it's a notable drop in the bucket. It's like a single drop of food coloring in a big bucket of water. You'll notice it. Anyway, oh, you're having trouble sensing what's up ahead. That's a surprise. It's so strange for you. Anyway, I sense something. The fact that you're talking about this implies that there's going to be another enemy I'm going to have to fight before I can get to the checkpoint, which I'm not down for. But I'll do what I can. All right, we've got our... Yep, they're all shooked. They're shook. They're spooked. They're worried and all sorts of other things. Do you have any idea how powerful you need to be to scare a literal golem made out of rocks? You gotta be pretty strong to do that. Granted, we are more than strong enough to justify the fears, I'm just saying. Alright. Oh boy, I hate when it does that. Alright, but that was easy enough. Experience! Anybody want to level up? No? Alright. Just thought I'd ask. Alright, now we got this fool. What are you doing over there, you fool? What if I just ran past you because I could? Yeah, that seems like the right course, but you're guarding loot, and loot needs to be taken. so loot shall be had.
Strike first.
Yep, that was the plan. We have the advantage. Stand around and wait for them to get their bearings and let them fight you before you strike. Yeah, that's a solid winning strategy right there. And there we go. Just give me my EXPs. All right, watch it carefully. Oh, that was one of the least shuffling shuffles that I've ever seen shuffled. My goodness. All right, ta-da, and it's a discharm. Sometimes, every now and then, those treasures are actually worth it. It's not as often as I would prefer, but, you know, still a thing. You guys fine? Yeah, you guys are doing good. You're all doing good. And, oh, yep, gonna have to go over there. Guarded by the shrine, people. No good.
Be careful.
Now, if you'd all be so very, very kind as to not do exactly what you just did. Very well.
Be eliminated. The enemies return to normal.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. Luckily, this one made it incredibly obvious which one they were.
Enemies left.
And then we'll hit you too. Just because we can. And then I suppose we could even straight up just end your life.
Enemies to go.
Oh boy, okay. Yeah, they're prying themselves back up. Pulling themselves up. But it's not gonna do nothing because I got my ice cube tray. Really? This is the way we're gonna be going about it, huh? You're cowardly. Disgusting.
Enemy left.
Alright, but luckily that was a crit, so we get it all out of tech anyway. It took us a little bit longer than normal to get to where we normally get, but we got there. We got there eventually. Now, oh, exactly where it started. I do enjoy when that is the case. And you should be proud, Koromaru. Good doggo. Whoa.
Yes, my skill level has increased.
That one I didn't see glowing in the corner, so that was actually really good. Good job, Yukari. Now, the question of the millennium is just how many floors am I expected to be tromping my way up? I'm already on the 150th. The structural integrity of this place has got to be getting absolutely nutty. Then again, I saw the outside of the place, so, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm not pushing myself. Trust me. I've pushed myself. I know what it feels like. It don't feel like what I'm doing right now. Alright, well, boy. Now we've got this fool. Blocking the intersection. Alright. Ah! That's why we have a spear! They're really good for the stabbings.
There are 2 enemies.
Also, they let me do stuff like this. Bada-boosh!
Enemies off balance. Do it.
Bada-boosh, bada-boosh. I stab at thee, and then I wha!
The enemy is down. Now
You very rarely actually see spear users throw the spear in question. It's not unprecedented. I've seen a couple characters do it. I've seen Bandana Waddle Dee throw the thing. But, you know, obviously the thing is if you throw it, you don't have your weapon anymore. So unless you're working off the idea that, you know, they have an unending supply of the things, I understand why they don't. You're gonna need some heavy, you know, fantasy elements nonsense in order to make that make sense. I can't get a clear reading, so keep on going. Yep. Don't gotta tell me 6 times in a row really quick. But if you could tell me in the form of a haiku, then perhaps I would know. I sense something above you, but I don't know where it is. Just vaguely ahead. Yep, that's real useful. Shanky! Sometimes you just gotta shank your enemies. Whoa, hello.
2 of them. Attack.
Interesting.
I'll scan the target.
All right, you do that. I am going to use Mudoon. And maybe we'll be lucky. I was a fool! All right, well, how about Mamudo instead? I could handle the samurai. I would just like to kill it instantly if possible. Thank you.
The enemy's weak against wind.
You don't say! I happen to have somebody who's kind of good at doing that. So that really works out in our favor. I can't help but notice. Shaboop! There we go!
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Let me at 'em.
And we shall! Many stabs, many stabs. Alright, so a super enemy has become a standard enemy, and we've got stone arms and swords. It's weird. The stone golems have swords too. But these guys that are just the arms are ahead. Very strange that. You'd think that the partial golem would be the thing you fight first, then the full ones would show up later. And no, I'm not tired. I'm actually feeling rather swell and spry, if I'm being completely honest with you. Ha-ha! And, oh, it's just another bunch of these dudes. Oh, no. We're not going with the Moodoon. Moodoo. We're going with the Mabofu. These spell names are redonkulous. And with that, Nyata.
What an easy win.
Yeah, I ain't gonna complain about easy wins. Look, the bosses, they can be as hard as they want to be. But standard fights, I should be breezing through that stuff. I'm allowed to have that kind of privilege. I'll implement strategy and thought into my combat strategies, you know, when it matters and it's important. But when it's just the small fries that are in the way while I'm trying to get to better, bigger and better things, nah. They die super fast. 'Tis only fair. And there we go.
Attack.
Yep, don't you worry about that. I've got the ice tray. It's not even a joke either, because dry ice and the stuff are usable items. Apparently not in this game, but you just have a bunch of, you know, spell gems. But I liked that, you know, like firecracker is light fire damage. I like that kind of modernization of, you know, elemental attacks and whatnot and stuff. When you're making a JRPG set in the modern day, you kind of have to stretch the realms of actual plausibility and implement a few things in ways that you wouldn't expect in order to make everything, you know, fit. You can't just have your characters go to a blacksmith to buy some swords and stuff. Obviously, that's going to be a big no-go. Instead, apparently, there's just a random cop that'll sell you that stuff. Honestly, I prefer the way that, out of the 3 games, I prefer how Persona 4 does it, where it's just, you know, you happen to have a metal workshop in this podunk town, somewhere no one's ever been. I feel like that makes sense. It's like, yeah, no, he'll just make legitimate weapons. Sure, you know, you just give him the materials. He never asks where you get the materials, which is the suspicious part, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little wee bit more realistic than, yeah, there's just this cop, and he's gonna sell us weapons. Yeah. Or this, or the guy in the store who's gonna sell you fake weapons, but in the world where we go, they're made real because cognition. Out of the 3, I'm not saying any of them are bad, and I'm not saying that the one I prefer makes any, like, a huge amount more sense. It's still silly. Like, I don't think that an ironworks shop would have been able to actually stay in business at all in that environment, but still, it just seemed like out of the 3, the most feasible. I mean, okay, there being a crooked cop selling you stuff, that's actually not impossible, but he is in fact selling spears, which is, and hammers and stuff of that nature, which is that makes it a little stranger. But not that strange. Honestly, I'd say 3 does it better than 5 does. Like, oh yeah, no, these are model guns. They don't actually do anything, they just look real, nothing else. Like, that's just weird to me. Alright. Alright, that didn't work. That did not work. Let's maybe do this instead. See if that is what needs to be done. Alright. Okay. I believe that she might count as strike. No, wait, no. I think that would be grenades that are strikes. I think these are pierce. Or we got incredibly lucky. Hang on, let's find out. Okay, no, we got lucky. That just miraculously happened to be a critical. That is funny to me. Bow. I like the multi-shots better than the simple, you know, boom, boom. The one big hit? Nah, I like the many smaller hits. Much more stylish in my eyes. And you gotta have stylish eyes.
My level of aptitude has increased.
Holler dollar, get yourself some dollars.
Holler, holler, get dollar.
All right, Fuka, you want to tell me how many more floors I gotta go? No, you don't. I am a fool for even asking. All right then. Whoop! We've got this fine fellow. How you be?
I'll scan the target.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna hit him with some spells. See if any of this stuff works. All right, that didn't work. How about this one? All right, well, it did more damage.
It doesn't seem like strikes will work.
Indeed. All right, well, good thing I don't have any strikes. I've got nothing but stabs. All right, then. And the things... He repels ice, but he doesn't repel anything else. Okay. Then we can make that work. Then again, we're really not doing that much damage, are we? All right. It's all about a return investment. Is the amount of effort I'm going to be putting into fighting this dude actually going to be worth it in the end? I feel like I'm just going to lose a lot of SP and HP for really very few, diminishing returns. All right, that just leads to treasure. Treasure is good and fine and dandy, and I enjoy it and all that good stuff, but quite honestly, I'd rather, maybe escape these tortured lands. There we go. Land sakes alive. I sense a strong presence on the 160th floor. All right, then, so we just got to get ourselves over there. No problem. I can do that. And we've got another one of these. Bit of a problem, that. All right, back to the Moodoon strats. Please die. Thank you. I did not expect that to work. And you're weak to the winds. I have an option for that. Wind is the magic type that I actually have the least often. So, yeah. Also, you have the ice spell too, so I could probably not have to worry about having you equipped for all that long. Most things are weak to ice in this place. At least until we get to the next section where all the enemies change.
That was too easy.
Sure as hell beats the place where literally everybody was only weak to light and dark. Seriously, the SP costs on those things are redonkulous, and even when they have high odds, it's not often it works. It's frustrating is what it be. All right, fine, you want to fight? Okay, well, that guy actually didn't seem to want to fight. He didn't even get an exclamation point. All right, you're clearly different.
Give me a sec.
And you're weak to strike, which we cannot do. All right, then, well. And despite seeing that little mark over there, all right, so wind. Definitely not what we want to go with. Fair enough, universe. Fair enough. All right, set fire to our enemas. To our enemas? Do not set fire to your enema. All right. Yeah.
This thing won't give up.
All right, well, we've got light strike.
Proceeding.
This'll work. Unless it misses, in which case, well, ain't that just the worst. All right, then fine. Let's go with the Mabufula. Well, that is a shame. Ow. Rude. Okay, I feel like I've probably got some kind of gem in here. Got a lot of those. No, we don't want that. Light electric. Let's go with that.
This thing won't give up.
All right, I mean, well, that answers some questions, if nothing else. All right, back to throwing fireballs. Interesting that the stronger variant are literally just as susceptible to electric as their prior version. I'm not complaining. Makes it easy to remember. If I see people lounging in a chair, hit them with electricity. All right, that was a little too jumbled for me to keep up with. Unfortunate.
Yes, my skill level has increased.
Hot diggity dang, but until you manage to get yourself a evolution in your persona, it's not gonna do us too well. Oh, all right, now we've got this dude.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
All right, I'm gonna stab him and cut him and poke him full of arrows.
It seems like it's weak against fire.
Good to know.
Only one enemy fire. It must be.
Unfortunately for him, or I guess maybe fortunately, I don't know.
That was too
I didn't, fortunately for us, I didn't have to bother. I got it. Ooh, that's some kind of rock monster? I want the rock monster. Give me that thing. Give me that golem man. Give me that big old golem man. I want him on my side, I do. All right. Just a few more. Just a few more. The enemies are getting stronger. Yep, but I'm still able to take care of them relatively easily.
So I'm actually not all that concerned. Yar!
And so, now we keep bumping into new dudes. I don't much care for bumping into new dudes. Stop being new dudes. All right, well, ice isn't the answer. Good to know. Are you guys also weak to fire like the ones before you? Yes, yes you are. All right. Far be it for me to assume that they would shake up the weaknesses. Apparently not. I mean, the last form was weak to fire, so I was like, well, obviously they're going to have it be weak to something else, obviously. But no, just keep on using the same spells you're always using. All right, fine. Next time I see a vague, different version of something I've fought, I'll just assume it's the same as the one before, and that's the time they'll switch it up.
There are 3 of them. Strike first.
That was the plan. All right, now, more fireballs! By the power of Cerberarius! There we go. Cerberarius! Ta-da! Good job, doggy. And I want more experience. More level ups. I demand all of them. I will not be satisfied until I'm as strong as physically, humanly possible. Or I guess programmably possible. Once the numbers can go no higher, only then will I feel as if I've reached my maximum potential. And I believe you were weak to wind? Yes. Yes! These gigantic stone arms are weak to a stiff breeze.
The enemy is down.
I understand that, you know, pressurized winds can very easily, like, flay the skin off of people. So, I'm not trying to say that wind can't be used as a weapon. It's just funny to see it used as such. Wind magic, it doesn't seem so inherently insanely powerful. Like, when you've got fire, you realize, all right, fire hot, fire hurt, ow. Ice, hypothermia, frostbite, you know that that's the kind of stuff that's gonna really hurt. You hear wind, and you don't immediately think, ah, yes, watch out for it. I mean, you know, that's even without, you know, saying things like, you know, tornadoes and stuff. Even with all that stuff, it just doesn't seem inherently as lethal. Even light and darkness, you can be like, oh, that sounds mystical. Mystical, spooky, creepy stuff. Don't want to mess with it. Wind. Ah, it is a windy day. Perhaps I shan't bring my umbrella this day. Stuff like that. All right, well, there's a way out, but I don't want a way out. I want a way in. In to win. As the enemies have no means of being able to do battle with me because I'm too fast. Too fast, too furious. You can't stop me. All right, yeah. That guy, on the other hand, I mean, when I'm trapped by all sides and have no choice in the matter.
Be careful.
All right. Mott, you're not even the guy I actually wanted. Yeah, you don't have electric. All right. Did I happen to pick up an electric item at any point? No, sir, I did not. I have made errors this day. Ow. Okay, first of all, rude. Second of all, crude. Right, strike, strike, strike. The only reason it didn't work the last time is because we missed, because life is never ending suffering and pain. I remember now. That does ring a bell to me. All right, let's give it another go. Thank you.
Must be eliminated.
Don't kick the dog. Oh, that's just rude. You guys are the worst. All right, switching back over. This time I want Throth. Gonna give that Throth. Gonna electrify some fools. There we go. And, well, then we could probably just do this. Yeah, all right. And shoot him down. Uh-oh. Oh, all right. That works too.
What an easy win.
Granted, we didn't get the experience from defeating it, but a fight's over is a fight's over. All right, one more go. One more to go. One more to go. The enemy is on the next floor. Yes, yes, I am perfectly aware of that. Just need to find the way. The way to the promised land, of which I may win the battle. Alright, fine. No choice but to stab a monster in the butt. Very well, universe, if that's what I need to do.
There are 3 of them. Strike first.
Yep, alright. I don't have a lot of SP left, actually, as it turns out. The cost of the spells are really starting to mess me up. Thing is, I don't need to hit them with a really powerful multi-hitting wind spell. I just need to hit them with wind in general. So I guess there is an advantage to having weaker personas sometimes.
What an easy win.
I mean, I knew that already, but, you know, I'm just pointing it out. I want the experience. That one didn't even move. Nice! 55! I can't drive 55. It only goes to 38. And that was the wrong way to go anyway. Oh, waka shaka laka ding dong karaka baka. Less than ideal. That's a dead end. A dead end is no good for me. It's just a big loop-de-loop. You're coming at me with all this mess of a big old loop-de-loop. Do a loop-de-loop and pull and now my shoes are looking cool? No! Ain't having none of that today. All right, we're out. Now, it should be a single enemy this time, yeah? I sense one shadow near the middle of the floor. It's very strong, so you should probably try to tango with it. All right, then. Well, it's conceivable, given my track record, that the enemy in there might end up killing me. I feel as if I've done enough training to be able to deal with it, but things can easily go wrong at any given moment in time, now can't they? So, of course, let's save to be on the safe side. Save to be safe. It's the cool and smart thing to do. All right, here we go. 160 floors. That's just too many floors, people. I gotta be, like, how far you think it goes? 200, 300? 350? I don't know. All right, so what are we dealing with this time? It is, okay, it's a Super Hogan. All right, well, that implies heavy-hitting physical attacks now, don't it?
Its arcana is strength. This won't be easy.
You know, unlike a lot of these ones, I feel like I could have guessed what arcana it was. All right, well, let's see if there's any particular brand of magic that can hurt you up a little bit. All right, well, ice ain't doing it. How about fire? The answer to that is a resounding nope. All right, well, what happens if I just shoot you? Okay. Okay, that's not too bad in the way of damage. I'm sure he's got other abilities, though. That's probably just the weakest move he's got available. Interesting. Okay.
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
So, pierce spells don't... I mean, pierce attacks aren't going to work at all, which is what Aegis's bullets do. And I'm pretty sure that's the exact same with my sword, which is an interesting conundrum now, isn't it? All right, well, let's bust out Thoth just to see if maybe, it'd be nice if it had some kind of weakness is all I'm saying. It does not have a weakness. Interesting. All right, well, so then that, dang it, that means
Scan the target.
piercing doesn't work, but cutting does. Okay. That's cutting damage. So this should work. Well, I mean, it's hard to account for that now, isn't it? Yeah, cool.
Defense weakened. Please be careful.
Yeah, I'll do what I can. Get off my butt. Oh boy. Look, I think I might be able to win this eventually. It's just gonna take a whole lot of effort. Of course, we still don't know for certain. Wait, I already learned. I'm an idiot. No fire. Literally no fire. For some reason, I thought it was icy absorbed. I was wrong. Please don't judge me on that one. I'll remember next time. No fire.
The enemy is still alive.
Deathbound. Not bad. I mean, not great, but, like,
Hang in there.
it's not anything that I can't just circumnavigate. I can just do this.
Defense weakened.
All right, so can I? No, I cannot. Cool. So 3 of my physical attacks are piercing. That's such an incredibly convenient thing for you to be able to avoid, isn't it, Hogan? Ah, alright.
Let us commence with an all-out fatal.
Can we maybe at least do 200 points of damage? Maybe? Oh, alright. Alright, yeah, that's just on the... That's on the usual metric of annoying, but manageable. Yeah, okay. I can definitely beat this guy. It's just gonna take me a little while. Alright, well, you've already seen what I'm gonna do constantly over and over again, so...
Eliminated. I can do it. Defeated.
Okay, so if the game would be oh so kind as to let me kill this thing before it uses its supercharged up attack, because I feel like that could actually be a bit of an issue for us. It'd be really great if this last attack was enough to finish it. Thank you! It's literally one more turn after Koromaru, and he would have been able to do some pretty serious damage. We would have survived more than most likely, but regardless, nice to not have to use my revival items on something like that. And then, woo, magic mirrors. And some Soma! Alright, not bad, not bad at all. Alright, now surely, and I am talking surely this time, I will be able to get to the next barricade. Yes, definitely. They're totally not going to have me immediately, oh boy, have to go through another block boss before they give me that ability. Surely not. This game is kind and caring and definitely not sadistically cruel in every imaginable way. Definitely not, surely. Alright, so I got myself my loot, and I got ourselves all healed back up. But the whole point is to get to the dang barricade. Then I can grab the extra article thingy, and then I can probably give that to Elizabeth. Double good time. For some reason, there are fewer enemies here. Alright, but that's not you telling me that you sense a presence immediately above us, which is implying to me that we're getting there. Yes, this area doesn't have many enemies either. That's really good, good. The less people that are trying to murder me, the more likely it is that I will get to where I want to be. You see how it is? It all makes sense. You just need to use your thinky parts. Your thinky brain parts, people, yes, just like that. That didn't involve my thinky brain parts, that involved my runny leggy parts. Not many enemies, okay, you're still not telling me that you sense a presence. So I'm continuing the false hope narrative going on here. Want to get to where I need to be. Gonna sneak right by your big dumb feet. Whoop, you ain't got no feet. You're a puddle. Haha, nerd. There. Oh, hello, this seems to be the top. But there's nothing there. I've reached the top of Tartarus? What? Really? Huh. Alrighty then. Am I surprisingly close to the end? I mean, I guess people are starting to get their super forms. There technically, narratively, is only one more shadow. I know that there's going to be something after that, but is that actually possible? Well, that sounds rather bizarre to me. Ho hum hum hum, and I wonder ends things. Alright, well, be that as... Oh, no. No. That's not what we're doing today. No, say. Gonna say ole. Nay. Gonna check a request. Surely you want yourself this document. Surely you want the documento. You need the you do... What? I feel like I remember they're not... Oh, no, there it is. Whew! All right. I was just looking for it to say specifically retrieve old document 07 in the request line, not the description line. Anyway, you seem to have done the thing. You've retrieved the 7 old document on the highest region of Cizaya. That means you've finished exploring the 4th block of Tartarus. However, I feel your greatest challenge is yet to come. My master and I have watched your growth with great delight. I hope you will be all right. Please accept your reward of 1 Soma. That's literally it. That's all you get. Now get out of my damn house. Which is an elevator. Everybody everywhere want to live in an elevator. Obviously. Who on earth wouldn't want that? Anyway, return to the dorm. Says there's literally nothing left for me to do here. Seems like the thing to do. And then, on the next day, events transpired that would doom us all. I assume.